Gurudev, and today, before we start the 13th chapter, we thought we'll just go through the first and second sessions of Upanishad Ratnakaram and do a bit of Manana on that. So, not sure how many of us were able to actually go through the video links. I myself did not. So let's just go through the first session, have Manana, and tomorrow we'll do session 2, complete the Manana, and then we'll start chapter 13. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryankaravavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिम् ॐ ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिम् द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयम् नमामि भगवत्पादम् शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम् शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यम् केशवं बादरायणम् सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् हरि ओम everybody. Happy Dashara days. Happy Hari Om. Today we will have a brush with some of the Upanishads, some mantras I happen to note down from a text, and we will cover that. Before we go to the Upanishads, we must know which of the major Upanishads on which Shankaracharya and the other Acharyas have rendered their bhashyams, they occur in what Veda? There are actually 4 Vedas: Rug, Yaju, Sama, Atharvana Vedas. Strictly speaking, though there are 4 Vedas, there are only 3 types of Veda mantras. One is a Rug mantra, another is an Yajur mantra, and the third one is the Sama mantra. There is no Atharvana mantra. What happened perhaps was when Bhagavan Vedavyasa was rendering the Vedas into 4 separate divisions, he happened to include all the Ruk mantras in Rig Veda, all but a few perhaps. And the same thing he has done with the Yajurveda, and the Samaveda also followed suit. But what remained out of all these, the remnants of the Ruk mantras, Yajur mantras, and Sama mantras, they have been included in the Atharva Veda. So Atharva Veda abounds in all the 3 types of mantras, right? And you cannot belittle Atharva Veda. Atharva Veda is very, very important. It contains the important Upavedas also. Now, for the 10 Upanishads, the 10 Upanishads are, anyway, I'll go through the Veda Vibhaga. In the Rig Veda, there are 2 Upanishads, Aitareya and Kaushitaki. This Kaushitaki is not one of the 10 Upanishads on which the 3 Acharyas have rendered Bhashyam. But this has been referred to in their Bhashyams extensively. The Yajurveda has 2 parts. One is Krishna Yajurveda, another is Shukla Yajurveda. In the Krishna Yajurveda, there is Katha Upanishad, Kaivalya Upanishad, Mahanarayana Upanishad, and Shvetashvatara Upanishad. This Mahanarayana and Shvetashvatara Upanishads are not one of the 10 on which the 3 Acharyas have rendered the Bhashyas. But like I said earlier, in respect of the Kaushitaki Upanishad, these also Mahanarayana, Shvetashvatara Upanishads have been extensively recalled. Their mantras have been recalled in their Bhashyams. That is why I have included. Then in the Shukla Yajurveda, there is Brihadaranyaka Upanishad and Ishavasya Upanishad. In the Samaveda, we have 2 Upanishads, Chandogya and Kena. In the Atharva Veda, we have the Mandukya Upanishad, Mundaka Upanishad, and the Prashna Upanishad. Right? The 4 Mahavakyas, they occur in 4 of these Vedas. In the Rig Veda, in the Aitareya Upanishad, you have Prajnanam Brahma. Okay? Aitareya Upanishad, Prajnanam Brahma. Then in the Atharva Veda portion of the Upanishad, Mandukya Upanishad, you have got Ayamatma Brahma. Ayamatma Brahma. This Atma is indeed Brahma. Earlier Aitareya Upanishad said what? Prajnanam Brahma. There is a mantra in respect of that, which I will cover. Then in the Chandogya Upanishad, Tattvamasi, you indeed are that. Tat, that which you are seeking. Tvam, you, asi. Tat, tvam, asi. What you are seeking, indeed you are. Tattvamasi, Chandogya Upanishad. And in the Chandogya Upanishad, the Guru tells the Shishya, Guru is the father, Shishya is his own son. This Tattvamasi Mahavakya was repeated 9 times. 9 times. Okay. Then in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, we have the Mahavakya Aham Brahmasmi. Aham Brahmasmi. The other Upanishads also, they contain a lot of Mahavakyas, but I really do not know why only these 4 have been picked up by the Pandits. But that is how it is. Tradition says these are the 4 Mahavakyas. There are there are bigger Upanishads than the Aitareya Upanishad, Mandukya Upanishad, etc. These two contain the two of the Mahavakyas. Aitareya Upanishad is small. Mandukya Upanishad is perhaps the smallest of the main 10 Upanishads. Right? In spite of it, these two contain the Mahavakyas. The bigger Upanishads like the Katha Upanishad, Mahanarayana Upanishad, then Kena Upanishad, Mundaka Upanishad, they do not as though contain Mahavakyas, but they do have the Mahavakyas. Kathopanishad, for instance, says, this has to be obtained only through the mind. Manasai vedamaptavyam nehana nasti kinchana. This, what you are seeking, will have to be obtained only through the mind. And here, there is no difference at all. Nehana nasti kinchana. What you are seeking, what anybody else is seeking, and what is indeed true, they're all the same. Nehana nasti kinchana. And whoever finds any difference in this, he will go from death to death. Mrityoho saha mrityumapnoti nehana nasti pashyati. That is that kind of a thing. Mahavakyas, almost every Upanishad has got. That's how it is. Now, I will try to cover today the Upanishad mantras from the main 10 Upanishads which I have noted down. Okay? This is, to my mind, what I thought you people would appreciate and like. Not that other mantras are not very important, they are. But considering the time factor, I have reduced this to only a few. Now, I will start with the Ishavasya Upanishad. The 10 Upanishads are called like this: Isha, Katha, Ena, Mundaka, Taittiriya, Mandukya, Aitareya, Chandogya, Brihadaranyaka. These are the Upanishads. Now, in the Ishavasya Upanishad, there is a beautiful mantra. Actually, some of the Upanishads, they start their name, they have their name from the first mantra of the Upanishad itself. In the Ishavasya Upanishad, the Acharya says, Ishavashyamidagum sarvam yatkinchat jagatcham jagat tena chaktena bunjeta ma grudha kasya suddhanam. I will briefly cover the Tatparya, not go into great detail of these things, which you can perhaps go through it when you run through the Google commentaries. Ishavashyam idagum sarvam. This entire thing is pervaded by Isha. Isha is the Lord, Kitaya. Ishavashyam idagum sarvam. Yat kincha jagatyam jagat. Whatever you see, whatever you perceive, whatever you may not even know, all these things, jagatyam jagat, in this ever changing jagat, all this is enveloped by Isha. Ishavashyam idagum sarvam yat kincha jagatyam jagat. Tena chittena bunjeta. Having known this, Tena Chektena, having known this, Chektena means giving up. Giving up what? Your ahankara. Giving up ahankara, bunjeta. You indulge yourself in the worldly affair. Tena Chektena bunjeta. Ma grudha kasya suddhanam. Never aspire for somebody else's wealth. That is how the Ishavasya Upanishad mantra says. Then I have noted down a second mantra from this second, third mantra. There are three. Yasmin sarvani bhutani atmaiva bhut vijanatah tatra ko mohaha kashokaha ekatvam anupashyatah. Beautiful mantra. Yasmin, in what? Sarvani bhutani, all these things that has come about in the Jagat. Yasmin sarvani bhutani atmaiva vibhut vijanataha. Atma eva iti, whoever understands this, then for him, tatra ko mohaha, for such a person, where is the delusion? Tatra ko mohaha, kashokaha, where is the sorrow at all? Ekatvam anupashyataha, when he or she sees that ekatvam, atma eva idagum sarvam, yatkincha jagatyam jagat, tena chettena bunjita, magradha kasya svidhanam. We have seen in the first mantra. So second mantra says, yasmin sarvani bhutani atmaiva vibhujitaha tatra kumo kashokaha ekatvam. Then another mantra, hiranmayena patrena satyasyapi hitam mukham tattvam poshanna pavruno satya dharmaya drushtaye. Satya dharmaya drushtaye. I am committed to know the truth. Satya dharmaya drushtaye. My vision is in finding out what is true, what is the truth. Because of that, I have been striving but unable to find, unable to get at the truth. Why? Because Hiranmayena Patrena, there is a glittering disk of Maya. Hiranmayena Patrena, Hiranmaya, Hiranmayena Patrena, Satyasya Mukham Apihitam. The face of truth is covered up by this Hiranmayena Patrena, this glittering golden disk of Maya is covering the face of truth. Tat tvam, that tvam is you. Tat tvam poshan. Poshan means ekataya. Poshan is actually the sun god. Okay? Ekataya. Tat tvam poshan apavruno. Please remove that disc because I am committed to knowing the truth. Satya dharmaya drushtaye. That is how the Ishavasya Upanishad. Those three mantras I told them. Now in the Kena Upanishad is what? Again, Ishavasya got its name from the first mantra. Ishavasya medagum sarvam yatkinchet jagatyam jagat. Like that, even the Kena Upanishad has picked up its name from the first mantra. The Shishya asks the Guru, using the Kena, Keneshitam patati. Keneshitam patati. That is how the first mantra starts. Because of the desire of whom? Keneshitam patati pre manaha. The mind runs after things. Because of the desire of whom, etc. That is the first question. And the Kena Upanishad has picked up its title from that question. Now, the Guru answers that first question. Shrotrasya shrotram manaso mano yat vacho pranasya pranaha chekshushaschexuhu patimuchyadhira prechasma namata bhavanti. The Guru answers, whatever is the ear of the ear, whatever is the mind of the mind, whatever is the walk of the walk means what? The spoken word. Whatever is the prana, the pranam, whatever is the eye of the eye, that indeed the wise people say is Parabrahman, and leaving the delusion that the world is real, Jagat Bhranti, you leaving that, you will be liberated from this Janana Marana Pravaha Samsara. That is how the Udbodha goes. The teacher says, Shrotrasya Shrotram Manaso Manoyat Vachoha Vacham Savu Pranasya Prachuhu Atimuchya Dhiraha Prechya Asman Lokat Amrita Bhavanti. That is one mantra from the Kenopanishad. Then I think that is the only thing. Then from the Kathopanishad, for the Kathopanishad, the background is like this. There is a rishi who will be doing some yajna. And in the yajna, he is supposed to give away what all belongs to him. What all belongs to him, he is supposed to give up. And when he is doing that, the child of that rishi, the child of that rishi is called Nachiketa, a 7 or 8-year-old boy, a 7 or 8-year-old boy who had been initiated into the Upanayanam, and so he was entitled to studying the Vedas, which he has studied nicely, and he's a very studious person, very committed to knowing the truth. That kind of a person was Nachiketa. This Nachiketa keeps on seeing his father gives away very, very weak cows which have outlived their usefulness in the form of giving milk, and they hardly eat anything, etc. Then he keeps on questioning himself. For what purpose is father giving these away? Then it occurs to him, even I belong to my father. Let me find out to whom he is going to give me. Then he approaches his father. Asks him, to whom are you going to give me? The father simply tries to get rid of him, this little boy, and says, you go away. Don't mess up with a lot of questions. Then Nachiketa, after a little while, he again asks the same question. Like that, when he asks the third time question, the father gets terribly annoyed and says, I'm going to give you to Lord Yama. Then Nachiketa thinks, hey, what purpose will Lord Yama have with me? What is his usefulness for me? Then he says, okay, let me find out. He goes to Yamaloka. Now don't question how he has gone to Yamaloka. Where is that Yamaloka? That is the backdrop of this Upanishad. Okay? He goes to Yamaloka. When he goes to the Yamaloka, Yama was not there. He has gone on some other errand. For 3 nights he will be there. When he is there, he was without food, without any care. He was alone. Then when Yama comes back, he apologizes to Nachiketa because he is a well-read Vedic student, and he was afraid of Nachiketa cursing him. So he says, I'm going to give you 3 boons. You please choose what you want. Then Nachiketa says, one of the boons he uses to ensure that his father's anger against him will be completely dissolved. Yama says, so be it. Then the second question is, he asks, there is what is called an Agni. When you you invoke that kind of an Agni, you can go to Swargaloka. I want to know what is that Agni. Then Yama tells him about that, and he says, hereafter it is going to be called Nachiketa Agni. Then the third boon, Nachiketa says, hey Lord Yama, when somebody dies, this is important. This is the most important question. And that is how the Kathopanishad starts with this question. When somebody dies, people say, people who are kavayaha, people who are very knowledgeable, who are, who have a lot of foresight, who have a lot of Vedantic knowledge. People say that he is, and some people say he is not. Out of these questions, I would like to know the truth from you. Who is the Lord of Death? Then Yama says, hey, you are too small, Nachiketa, to know these things. I will give you whatever you want. I will give you a lot of chariots. I will give you elephants. I will give you horses. If you want, I will give you playmates. All these things. And if you want, I will give you the entire Bhumandala. You choose what all you want. You know what Nachiketa replies to Yama? All these things will last as long as you do not touch, as long as you do not touch that person. The moment you touch that person, all these things will vanish, is it not? When somebody dies, where is the need for, where is the question of chariots? Where are the elephants? Where are the horses that you propose to give me? I do not want any of these. You can keep all these things. If you can answer the question I have posed, I will be grateful. Then Yama will be pleased. Then the teaching of the Kathopanishad will start. That is how the backdrop of Kathopanishad. I picked up some mantras from the Kathopanishad. In the Kathopanishad, there is a mantra. Some of the mantras of the Upanishads, they occur elsewhere in other Upanishads also. Maybe because, maybe because the Acharya, say of the Kathopanishad or the Mandaka Upanishad, whatever, whoever, they may have studied at the same Guru. If that happened, the Guru would have given a mantra, and that mantra is resident in the minds of the two Sishyas. And when they have told the Vedanta Vakyas to their Sishyas, it is likely that the mantra has kind of repeated. Now, one such mantra which occurs in the Kathopanishad also occurs elsewhere, I think in the Mandaka Upanishad. What it says, Avidyaya antare vartamanaha swayam dhira panditam manyamanaha dandramyamana pariyanti modhaha andhenaiva niyamana yathandha. What it says is, those people who kind of take residence in avidya, take residence in avidya, see, avidyayam antare vartamanaha, they're all swimming in the ocean of avidya. Avidyayam antare vartamanaha swayam dhiraha panditam manyamanaha. They think they are great. They think they know everything. They think they are the panditas. They consider themselves as invincible in the Vedanta debates. You see, Vedanta is not for debate. Vedanta is to be. It is not just to know. It is to be. What is the idea of your knowing all the Mahavakyas if you do not conform to even one single Mahavakya? what is the effort that you are putting in to unravel the mysteries of a Mahavakya, that is important. You have to make an effort to be. So, Swayam Dhiraha Panditam Manyamanaha Dandram Yama Pariyanti Mood. With this kind of ahankara, they keep on conducting themselves. They keep on going round and round in this world, okay? And they think their knowledge is their guru, okay? Andenaiva niyamana yadhandaha. Supposing this knowledge that you have, knowledge that this person for whom this mantra is applicable, if that knowledge he has got, he thinks he is very great, but that knowledge becomes what? Vidya or avidya? If the knowledge is increasing your ahankara, it indeed is avidya. Because vidya is supposed to knock off avidya completely, annihilate avidya totally. Okay? Like even when the sun rises, the darkness is totally dispelled. Like that, when indeed you have knowledge, the darkness of ajnana, which has been bothering you thus far, that must be totally dispelled. If it does not happen, you are avidyayam antare vartamanaha swayam dhiraha panditam manyamana dandram yamanaha pariyanti mudhaha dandram yamanaha pariyanti mudhaha. They keep on going round and round and round. How? Andhenaiva niyamana yadhantaha. Andhenaiva. There is a blind person. And this blind person wanted to go somewhere. And he is nicely led by another blind person. This another blind person is the knowledge that this fellow is proud of. That is the blind person. And he is led by that blind person. That is how he keeps on going round and round and round. This mantra occurs in some other Upanishad also. We will cover that then. Then Kathopanishad. There are quite a few mantras of the Kathopanishad which in part appear in the Gita. In part means the first part or the second part that appears in the Bhagavad Gita. One such mantra is न जायते म्रियते वा विपश्चिन् नायं कुतश्चिन्न बभूव कश्चित् अजो नित्य शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणः न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे. This is as though slightly different from the Gita mantra. The Gita mantra says what in the second chapter? न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचित् नायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूयः अजो नित्य शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणः न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे. Now one question may be raised by you. Is it that Gita is more ancient compared to the Katha Upanishad, or the Katha Upanishad is more ancient? The answer could be some of the Upanishads are perhaps more ancient compared to the Gita. Gita was a product of the Dwapara Yuga, and prior to that, the Vedas have been in existence. And as part of, as an Antarbhaga of the Vedas, the Upanishads have been. And so the Upanishads, most of the Upanishads, or at least some of the Upanishads, may be more ancient compared to the Gita. And there is another which I did not note down, but I will cover that. Hanta chen manyate hantum, hataschen manyate hatam, ubhautau na vijanitaha, nayam hanti na hanyate. The second portion of this mantra appears in the Gita verbatim. Okay. And yeah, there is one mantra that says, Nayamatma pravachane na labhyo na medhaya na bahuna shrutena yeme vaisha vrunute te na labhyaha tasyesha atma vivrunute tanum swam. What it says is, this atma cannot be obtained by your simple dialogues. Okay? This Atma cannot be obtained by your lecturing to a class of people. It's neither available by your intellect, neither available to your intellect. Nayamatma pravachane na labhyo na medhaya, na medhaya. Medhaya is intellect. Na bahuna shrutena, by your having got by heart a lot of Upanishads, lot of Veda Vakyas, all those things you have become a Pandita. You name any Veda, I will tell you what Upanishad it contains, and I will reel out all the mantras of the Upanishad. Of what avail is that? You fellow, you have been in delusion before you started the Veda mantras, and afterwards, after you got all the Veda mantras by heart, you are still the same Ajnani. You are still the deluded idiot. Of what avail is that? That is what the mantra says. Nayamatma pravachane nalabhyo na medhaya ashrutena. Even if you keep on listening to a lot of lectures by Mahatmas, Mahatmas are Mahatmas. They keep on lecturing, but has it entered your mind? Or has it only tickled your intellect and made you happy at that time for a little while? Whoever puts in the requisite effort and keeps on keeps on without giving up, pegging away at the question, who am I? Who am I? Where did I come from? Kastvam koham kuta ayata kame janani ko me tataha iti paribhavaya sarvamasaram vishwam tyaktva swapna vicharam. Are you doing this? Are you doing this? If not, it is useless. This Atma pravachanena na labhyaha na medhaya na bahuna sutena. But your effort only will ensure that Atma will have to decide to reveal itself to you. And you have to drive what is inside you, what is the Sakshi, what is the Sakshi Atma to reveal itself to you. And that is possible only by a proper self-effort. Then there is a set of mantras which describe that is in the third chapter of the Kathopanishad. And incidentally, the third chapter of the Kathopanishad, tradition says, is required to be chanted at the time of the Shraddha Kala. And at the time of the Shraddha Kala, you chant that particular set of mantras. As part of that, there are some mantras. One of those I have noted down. Atmanam Radinam Vidhi Shariram Radhamevatu Buddhim Tu Saradhim Vidhi Mana Pragrahamevacha Indriyani Hayana Vishayantetu Gocharan Atmendriya Manoyuktam Bhuktetya Manishinaha. What it says is this Atmanam Ratinam Vidhi Shariram Radhamevatu. There is a beautiful analogy between our body and whatever body contains to a chariot. Atmanam Radhinam Vidhi. Atmanam. That person who is the Asami, who is the one who is trying to know who he is. Atmanam, that person, like Arjuna. Radhinam Vidhi. He is the Ejamani of the Radham. He is seated in the Ejamani's seat. Atmanam Radhinam Vidhi. Shariram Rathamevato. The body of that person is indeed equated to the Ratham. Ratham is the chariot. Buddhim tu saradhim vidhi. Understand, the intellect is the saradhi. Kittaya is the buddhi. Buddhim tu saradhim vidhi. The Pardasaradhi is indeed the buddhi. Buddhim tu saradhim vidhi. Manaha pragrahamevacha. The mind is said to be the reins, holding which the horses which are yoked to the chariot are led forward. Then Indriyani Hayanaho. The sense organs, the 5 sense organs are called the Hayan. Hayan means the horses. Indriyani Hayanaho. Vishayanteshu Gocharan. The paths on which the horses tread are said to be the Indriya Vishayas. Indriya Vishayas are what? For the ear, a piece of music is the Vishaya. For the eye, a good landscape is a Vishaya. So too, for the tasting tongue, indeed, this tongue is kind of twofold. It is both Jnanendriya and the Karmendriya. Okay, the tasting tongue has got Laddu as the Vishayendriya, like that. So, Vishayanteshu Gocharan Atmaindriya Manoyuktam Bhuktetyahur Manishinaha. Manishinaha, Ahuhu. Manishinaha means people who are Vidwans, people who are Panditaha. What do they say? Ahuhu. Atmaindriya Manoyuktam Bhuktehe. Atmaindriya Manoyuktam. This person, endowed with all these things, he will conduct himself in this world and enjoy the world. That is how. And there is another mantra which in a way occurs in the 3rd chapter of the Gita. What this mantra says is Indriyebhya parahyardhaha ardhebhyascha param manaha manasastu para buddhihi buddheratma mahan paraha mahata param avyaktam avyaktat purusha paraha purushanna param kinchit sa kashta sa paragatihi. Whereas in the 3rd chapter what it says is Indriyani paranyahu Indriyebhya param manaha manasastu para buddhihi yo buddhe paratastu saha evam buddhe param buddhva samstabhya atmanam atmana jehi shatrum mahabaho kamarupam durasadam. That was the Prabodha by Kitaya to Arjuna. It's almost that kind of a thing. Indriyebhya parahyadha. Compared to the Indriyas, the Ardha means Indriya Vishayas. They are supposed to be more powerful. Is it not? Unless it is powerful, how is it the sense organs keep on running after the sense objects? Unless the objects are very powerful, the sense organs will not yield themselves to the Vishayas. Indriyebhya parahyadhaha ardhebhyascha param manaha. Compared to the sense objects, the manaha is superior. Manasastu para buddhihi. More superior to the manaha is the buddhi. Buddhehe atma mahan paraha. Compared to the buddhi, atma is superior. Atma mahan paraha. Mahata paramavyaktam. There is, mahataha means the total mind. Mahataha param avyaktam. Compared to the total mind, you can say total mind means the mind of Brahmaji, the Srishtikarta Brahmaji. You can equate that. Mahataha param avyaktam. Avyaktam is what? That which is unmanifest. Unmanifest is what? Maya. Earlier we have covered one mantra in the Ishavasya Upanishad. Hiranmayena patrena satyasyapi hitam mukham tattvam poshanna pavruno satya dharmaya drushtaye. That kind of a avyaktam, which is a golden disc. Mahata param avyaktam. Avyaktat purusha paraha. Compared to the unmanifest, the Purusha is superior. And what is superior to Purusha? Purushanna param kinchit. There is nothing superior to the Purusha. There is nothing superior. That is the end. That is the terminating point of your inquiry. That Purusha. Purushanna param kinchit. Sa kashta sa paragati. That is the final abode. That is the one you are seeking. Sa paragatihi. That is how the mantra says. So I have got 15 minutes. I must say so. Now, Kathopanishad says, Shabdamaspatyamaropamavyayam tadharasyamagandhavachyayat anadyantam mahatah param dhruvam nichayatam mrutyumukhat pramuchyate. Hey Nachiketa, Yama is talking to Nachiketa. What you have sought, that Ashabdham. Ashabdham means it is not available to Shabdam. Shabdam, Asparsham, it can't be obtained by contact. Rupama, that's what Yama is saying is, it is not available to the sense organs. It is neither available to the five great elements. Ashabdamasparshyamaropamavyayam tadharasam nityamagandhavachyayat. So all these five are covered. Sense organs and their fathers, the great five elements. Anadyanantam, anadi. Anadi means beginningless. Anantam, endless. Anantam, what is beginningless and what is endless? Is it indeed born? That is the indication. Anadyanantam mahata param dhruvam. Mahataha. Mahataha means the total mind. That compared to even the total mind, param, it is superior. Dhruvam, it is definite. That is the only thing that is. Not knowing this, people will keep on entering the mouth of mrityu time and again. Okay. Now another mantra. Manasai vedamaptavyam nehana nasti kinchana mrityo samrityumapnoti naneva pashyati. Whoever sees that there is difference here between you and the other, between you and the tree, between you and the mountain, between you and the river, between you and the person you hate, between you and the person you love dearly. If you think there is a difference, mrityoho saha mrityumapnoti yaha iha naneva pashyati. Whoever sees this kind of a difference, he will be swimming in the samsara chakra. Manasai vedamaptavyam. This truth will have be obtained only through the mind. Nehana nasti kinchana. There is no nanaha in this. Okay? Suryo yatha sarvalokasya chakshuho न लिप्यते चाक्षुषैर्वाक्यदोषैः एकस्तथा सर्वभूतान्तरात्मा न लिप्यते lokadukkena bahya. What it says is, Suryo yatha sarvalokasya chakshuhu, like even the sun, which is the eye of the entire Jagat. When the sun rises, you see the Jagat. When the sun sets, the Jagat is as though not available to you. You are blinded. And this sun, which reveals everything in the Jagat to you, न लिप्यते चाक्षुषैर्बाह्यदोषैः. It is not tainted by the external defects in what you have seen. You have seen a defective river, a river like the Mother Ganga, which is perhaps these days the abode of all kinds of garbage being thrown by the industries into it. That kind of a thing. Bahya doshaihi. Okay, the external doshaihi. All these things, the sun is revealing, but what it reveals, it is not tainted by what it reveals. Ekastada sarvabhutantaratma. That sarvabhutantaratma, that atma, which is one and which is resident in everything. In everything means insentient as well as insentient. Sthavaram jangamam vyaptam yatkinchit sacharacharam tatpadam darshitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. That is why you prostrate to the Guru, because he reveals the truth, which is Thavaram Jangamam Vyaptam, which is in and through what is sentient and what is insentient. Okay? Ekastadha sarvabhutantaratma na lipyate lokadukkena bahyaihi. That the one Atma is not tainted by the defects in you, me, and the objects that you see. Then it says, there is another mantra. Na tatra suryo bhati, na chandra tarakam, nema vidyuto bhanti, kuto yamagnihi, tameva bhantam, anubhati sarvam, tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. This kind of a mantra occurs elsewhere in some other Upanishad also. Na tatra suryo bhati. There, in the Atma Vishaya, the sun cannot shine it. It cannot reveal. Na tatra suryo bhati, na chandra tarakam, neither the moon nor even the stars. Nema vidyuto bhanti, not even the lightning. It cannot reveal that. Kuto yamagnihi, what to speak of this Agni? When all these things fail, why unnecessarily you are harping on saying Agni will reveal it? Tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam, because it gives the shine to everything else as though shines. Tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam, tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati, tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. Like I am saying, tasya bhasa, because of its illumination, I am able to convey something which the mantra is trying to reveal. That is possible because of tameva bhantam, because of its shine. If it does not shine in me, then I will become what? I will become not Shiva, I will become Shiva. And Shiva cannot convey anything to you. Okay? If I am rendered Shiva, it is because of the Atma Tattva. Then I thought I'll cover the 10 Upanishads. I don't know. Yeah. There is in the Prashna Upanishads, the backdrop of this is a number of rishis, I think 6 in number. They approach a guru Pippalada, I think, the guru's name. They approach a guru and seek Atma Vidya. You know what the guru says? These are all rishis. They have already done a lot of penance. They have already done a lot of sadhana. And for those, the rishi says, hey, you people, be resident here in my ashram for 1 year, okay? And you practice what is required for Atma Vidya. And after that 1 year, you ask questions. If I know, I will answer. That is how the Prasnopanishad starts. Bhuya eva tapasa brahmacharyena shraddhaya samvatsaram samvatsadayana kamam prasnan pruchadayani vijñāsyamaha sarvam bhavo vakshamayati. See, beautiful how humble, like even the Guru is saying, how very, very nicely Guru is saying. If we know answers to whatever you have sought, we will say that we is indicative of the Guru Shishya Parampara. The we is only talking of the tradition. Okay? Now that is over. Then the Mundaka Upanishad. Upanishad. Yeah. That says Parishalokan karmachitan brahmanaha nirvedamaya nasya kruta krutena tadvijnana sagurumevabhigachet vitvanihi shrotriyam brahmanishtam. That person seeking Brahma Vidya, seeking to know who he is, seeking to know the difference between what he is seeing and what is true, seeking to know Ishvara, Jagat and Atma. Okay? What is the difference? That kind of a person, Pariksha Lokan Karmachitan Brahmanaha, having examined the Karmachitan Lokan, the Lokan. Lokan means the words which are ridden with a lot of activity. Nirvedamayat, he has developed. Nirveda means dispassion. Nirvedamayat, Vairagyam he has got. Nirvedamayat, Nasya Akrutakrutena. Nasti Akrutaha. Akrutaha means that which is not made. That which is not made, which has been original in its nascent glory, all by itself, ajaha, nityaha, shashvatoyam puranaha, na hanyate hanyamane sharire. That kind of a thing is not obtainable by krutena. By krutena means by any activity. Not by any activity. Iti, he has understood, and after understanding that, Tadvijnanadham, that which he is seeking, which is not obtainable by any activity, na karmana, na prajaya, dhanena, eva, chagene amrtatvamana shuhu. That is another mantra. Tadvijnanadham sa gurumeva adhigachet samitpanihi shrotriyam brahmanishtam. Samitpanihi. And how do you approach a guru? What does the Guru want from you? A lot of money? Guru wants a lot of money from you? Guru is one who treats money as nothing. As nothing. That kind of a person is a Guru. That kind of a person is a Brahmanishta. That kind of a person is a Shrotriya. That kind of a person you must approach with what? With humility. And what is the indication of humility? Shrotriyam Brahmaneshtam Samitpanihi. Keeping, and the Guru does some yajna, yaga, etc. Okay? And for ensuring that yajna, yaga keeps on going uninterrupted, you do your little bit, you give some samidhas, the wooden pieces, sticks. You take in your arms, samitpanihi, shrotriyam brahmanishtam. Same thing was said in the fourth chapter of the Gita. What was that? What is that verse? Um, what is that verse? तद्विद्धि प्रणिपातेन परिप्रश्नेन सेवया उपदेक्ष्यन्ति ते ज्ञानं ज्ञानिनः तत्त्वदर्शिनः. तद्विद्धि, that you understand. Pranipatena, having prostrated completely. Ahankara vimudhatma will always think, I am the karta. Giving up that ahankara, pranipatena, pariprasnena. Hey Guru, what is mukti? What is bandha? What is atma? What is anatma? This kind of a question, if you ask, Guru will know to what extent you have already known, and he will start to educate you from then on. Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam, that is what is mentioned. Okay. Mundaka Upanishad. Yeah, I know. Pranavo Dhanuhu. It is already 8 o'clock. I'll just take 2 minutes. I will complete this Mundaka Upanishad. Pranavo Dhanuhu. Shiro Hyatma. Brahma Tallakshyamuchyate. Apramattena Vedhavyam. Sharavat Tanmayo Bhavet. What is this? What it says is Pranavaha, that is Omkara. Having that as the Dhanas. Dhanas is the bow. Then the Jivata Bhavana, Jiva Bhavana as the arrow. The Jiva Bhavana, you keep that as the arrow. And what is the target? Brahma Talaksha Muchyate. Brahma that you are seeking, the Atma that you are seeking is the target. And the sadhaka, with very, very proper care, without any carelessness, sadhaka, with single pointed attention, you have to shoot the arrow, and the arrow is what? The Jiva Bhavana. Shoot the arrow using what bow? Pranavaha, using Pranavaha. Okay? That is chanting Pranava all the time, giving up Jiva Bhavana, Jivatva Bhavana all the time, giving up. You have to aim at knowing what is Brahma. That is what it says. Then Mundaka Upanishad, it says, Satyameva Jayate Nandutam Satyena Pantha Vitato Devayanaha. This is another mantra. Satyameva Jayate. Truth alone triumphs. Na Anrutam. Untruth will never succeed. Satyena Pantha Vitato Devayanaha. In the path of the truth, Devayanaha. See, that is the divine path. You have to get on to that. Then Vedanta Vijnana Sunishchitadhaha Sannyasa Yogadhyataya Shuddha Sattvaha Te Brahmalokeshu Parantakale Paramruta Parimuchyanti Sarve. This Vedanta Vijnana, that through which you have to understand what indeed is Atma, and based on that you have to make a very very steady and continuous effort to cleanse your mind. You have to be always at it. Never forget it. Always have the thought of Atma Bhavana, giving up Ahankara. And how do you give up Ahankara? Ishavashyamidagum sarvam etkinchit sa jagatyam jagat tena chaktena bunjeta. Like that. See, each mantra will be helpful to know the other mantras. Now I think we'll stop here. I've taken 5 more minutes. We have some more Upanishads. We will cover that in the next Sunday. I would genuinely prefer Sunday because be it 7 to 8 o'clock or 7:30 to 8:30, I leave it to you, depends on your convenience. This will leave the entire day for you. If in the morning before breakfast hour you have this kind of a thing. Huh? India time is better. What is that? India time is different. 7:30 for us. Yeah, that is. Yeah. This time I'm mentioning is the Bahrain time, right? 7 to 8 or 7:30 to 8:30, whatever you people decide. You people decide and convey to Brahmara, and we'll go accordingly. And compared to having a class on Friday, I would prefer the Sunday class for a number of reasons. One such reason is the World Cup cricket matches have been going on. There may be a lot of people amongst you who may be interested in that. So whatever we do, we should not come in the way of your trying to know what is happening in the matches. So Friday, if you start by 8:30 and go on up to some 9:30, 9:30 Bahrain time will be nearly 12 o'clock India time, and 11:30 India time the matches will start. So it kind of clashes. I leave it to you. Your decision, please convey to Brahmara. We'll go accordingly. Right? So Hari Om to all of you. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah. Sarve Santu Niramayah. Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu. Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Hari Om. Dhanyavad Nanaji for a beautiful session.
Hari Om everyone.
Jai Gurudev. I think we'll all just close our eyes and reflect on all that we have listened to, and let us share our understanding of what we listened to. So it's such a blessing that we are getting these pearls of the Upanishads from this beautiful text called the Upanishad Ratnakaram, which has
some of the important shlokas from several Upanishads. That is the source from which Nana is sharing all this wisdom from. So every Veda has different Upanishads. Upanishads are the end of the Veda, Vedanta. They're part of the Vedanta. And there are 10 important Upanishads, although there are several, I think 108 plus Upanishads. And there are these beautiful Mahavakyas that come from each of the Vedas, Rig, Sama, Yajur, Atharva Veda. Atharva, from what little I understood, was it has got whatever is left over from the Rig, Sama, Yajur Veda it composes the Atharva Veda. It also contains the Upavedas, all the Shastra, the what is that? Jyotish Shastra, then Nyaya Shastra, all of that. Not going into all the nitty-gritties, I know it will be good to make notes, which I could not. But if those of you who have made some notes regarding this initial factual things about Upanishads, it'll be good to share. But otherwise, he started off with the Ishavashya Upanishad. Ishavashyamidam idagum sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagat tena tyaktena bhunjita ma kasya svidhanam. Ma kaschit svidhanam. I'm not sure if I'm getting the mantra right. But the import of that is the whole universe, seen, unseen, is pervaded by Isha, by the divine. And enjoy it by giving up your ahankara. And then do not covet another's wealth. The import of the first shloka of the Ishavashya Upanishad. Yeah. Anyone wants to share before we go on further? There are two other shlokas from the Ishavashya Upanishad that we were given. The last one, the second one was about when you consider everything as one, where is the reason, where is their misery? There is no misery when you see the oneness in everything. And then the third one is the Hiranmayena Patrena Satyasya Pihitam Mukham Tattvam Pushanna Pavrano Satya Dharmaya Drishtaye.
Jai Gurudev, Dr. Brahma, I wanted to know one, like the first the shloka, Ishavashya, he said that don't covet the wealth of others. The wealth of others include what all, like, it is not just the wealth that in face of like your financial, is it the wealth, other wealth also in some different views?
For instance, we talk of aparigraha in not aparigraha. In Patanjali Yoga Sutras, there is one of those yamas that we follow. Astheya is non-stealing, right? So that is, it need not necessarily be wealth as in monetary wealth. That is included, of course. But any wealth, for instance, there's a beautiful singer or someone is very beautiful to look at. If you are thinking, oh, I wish I was like that, then you have coveted it. You are, you know, isn't it? So all of those.
So it includes all the, like the jealousy, mainly the jealousy, comparison. And
it all starts with that, no? The very reason you covet another's wealth is you think you don't have it, you are jealous, and therefore you want to possess it. So when you come from that standpoint and you enjoy the world.
The the feeling of lackness should not be
Mm.
there when you feel yourself complete in every aspect.
Correct.
Then you will not have that thought of that this of comparison also, and of course jealousy would not be there,
Mm.
and you would not be you would not want to acquire anything
Correct.
of others, like
You
what they
will
own.
see things as they are. If you see a beautiful person, you will just
Yeah,
look
you
and enjoy that beauty
yeah,
without bringing in your ahankara. The moment that ahankara and that mamakara come in, then there is that thing of it comes from, oh, I want to possess. Again, stemming from, like you said, the sense of lack. But
yeah.
You are
Thank you.
Purna. If you think you are Purna, you don't have that lack.
yeah,
And then you accept things as it is. You know?
if someone is very wealthy, has so many cars, so
Yeah.
many houses, you let them be. I mean, that is not a benchmark for you. You don't have to grow up to that, evolve or achieve things to that level. He is what he is. So you leave what you accept whatever is around you, not coveting them, not wanting to possess.
Yeah, and also if you have that feeling of fullness, you are not interested in the materialistic things also.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
So in the first verse itself, that complete gist of the whole Upanishad comes in, that covetness. In that,
Because
everything is involved. So beautiful.
you live your life need-based.
Yes.
It's not like you live like a recluse, say, no, I don't want this and that. Whatever is needed for you, you have.
You will be given.
You will be given, of course, yeah.
That
It's beautiful
bhavana is-
how these Upanishads have their names based on the beginning of the verse, the starting of the first
Ishavasya.
verse. Like Ishavasya Upanishad is, I think, one of the smallest Upanishads. Mundaka, I think, is the smallest, or Mandukya, I'm not sure which of those has just 12 verses.
Mandukya.
Mandukya.
Yeah, it's
Mandukya is
Mandukya.
the smallest, I think,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, 12 verses only.
Mm. And Kena Upanishad, the second one that Nana spoke of, Kena Upanishad is where the student asks the teacher, Kena, by what? By what do we see? By what do we hear? What do we taste? How do we experience the world outside? Kena Upanishad. And then was the Kathopanishad, where he spoke of that beautiful story of Nachiketa and how Nachiketa spends those 3 nights in Yamaloka when his father, when he goes on pestering him, who are you going to give me to? And then because he was there in Yamaloka without being fed for those 3 nights, Yama gives him 3 boons. And of the 3 boons, the last boon is what he wants to know. What is the truth? The second was about the Agni, with which the first one was, of course, to dissolve his father's anger. The second is to find out what is the Agni through which, I don't remember exactly what that was, but he is named that is named Nachiketa Agni. If any one of you remembers the second boon that he asks, then the third,
can go to Swarga.
with which you go to Swarga Loka. The Agni with which you go to Swarga Loka. That is called Nachiketa Agni.
Because Agni burns everything, and it is a good conveyor, takes you to the. Therefore, we submit it to the Agni, Yajna.
Mm.
I
So-
just like to chant that Ishavasyam, the other's wealth. I hope that it is correct.
Yeah.
Yasmin sarvani bhutani atmaeva vibhu vijanata tatra ko mohaha kaha shokaha ekatvam anupashyatah. When we see everything as our own, it is every time it is feeling of abundance and that completeness is naturally there. Then there will be no ahamkara, no mamakara, no jealousy, no matsarya. Yeah.
Brahmanaji, do you have this PDF of Ratnakara? This one?
That is actually a Telugu, the one in Telugu. I am not sure. I need Google search for that. Yeah, we'll need to do a little bit of homework on that. It's called Upanishad Ratnakaram. I think we did, but I don't think we found it on Google, but we can check one more time. And then comes the Kathopanishad. There are so many verses which are there also in the Bhagavad Gita, similar verses that, what is that?
Na jayate, na mriyate.
That is one. And then the analogy of how the body is the Ratham, the Buddhi
Yeah.
is the Sarathi, the reins are the mind, and then the senses are the horses, and the path on which the horses move
The object.
are the sense objects. Such, I mean, look at the depth of their understanding and how they could give these similes, these analogies. Buddhim Bharatim Vidhi, or Shariram Ratham. I don't know these by heart, so it's difficult for me to say that. But
Can you please repeat again, please?
the body is like the chariot. If you're likening, it's an analogy between the chariot, which has the charioteer horses, and the path on which the chariot and the horses move. So the chariot per se is the body.
And the jiva is Atma, that person who is running. That is like Arjuna.
Krishna, Buddhi.
The buddhi is
Krishna.
the charioteer is the intellect, and the reins through which you hold the horses is
Mind.
your. Then the horses themselves are the sense organs, and then the path on which the horses move, that is the sense objects. So in Bhagavad Gita, I think in chapter 3 or 4, there is one which says the sense objects are more powerful than the senses. The mind is more powerful than the senses. The intellect more powerful than the mind, and then the self is the most powerful.
Good.
Put the hierarchy there.
Yeah, then Nanaji specifically pointed out about the role of the tongue. It has two purposes, taste as well as karmendriya. So we have to be very careful.
Actually, if we little bit do manana and just focus for a period of time, at least for one day, something continuously on this chariot wala thing, so many things will be resolved, no? So many ways we will be saved from getting stuck in so many different traps. It will really help us just by pondering over or contemplating over this chariot thing and our all mind, intellect, ego, and senses and objects. Just by focusing on that chariot, no, so much clarity and so much simplicity will come into sadhak's life, I feel. Jai Gurudev. Thank you.
And then was the Prashnopanishad. I think we may have some Upanishads where the students who themselves Vedic Pandits, they go to this teacher and he tells them to stay there with him for a year, and then if they have doubts and questions, he says, if I know, I will answer. So that humility of the teacher, and that we is the Guru Shishya Parampara, that we're so blessed to be part of. And again, all of this is not just for knowledge, because Atma Vidya is for being and not just knowing. This is something, it's not like you add on, it will only add on to your ahankara. It will not remove the avidya if it only leads to ahankara, right? You can't say, oh, I've been doing this, I've been doing that. But what is that? How much of it has actually gone through you? How much of it is actually transformed us? Has that made that little inner transformation inside? Are we doing things in a different manner, or are we just being patterned living creatures, going through the same patterns over and over again? If it has made that little shift, then probably this knowledge is actually, having its worth, or we are putting it to worth. Otherwise, we'll only get hot in the head saying, oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And we'll only end up having a superiority air, which is all so futile. So if this knowledge is to be effective, we have to go towards being, realizing being. And that is why humility, that is why when Gurudev says, humility is the mark of growth. If you're growing, you don't grow horns on your head and say, oh, I've got this, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. What is the use of that? You're only feeding your already fat ego. What we need to do is dissolve that ego.
The less reactive we are, the more we are imbibing that knowledge and absorbing all reaction, the way we react, the number of times or how you react.
Yeah,
it is important.
Situations, no? Yeah. Yes. We have to transform that reaction to a response, and that little bit of inner cleansing, that Atma Shuddhi, Antakarana Shuddhi has to happen. So what we'll do is we'll wind up here, and tomorrow we'll listen to session 2. We'll do Manana on session 2, and then from day after tomorrow, which is Tuesday, we'll begin chapter 13. In the meantime, I'll share the PDF. And
the last part, Dr. Brahmara, the Mundaka Upanishad, that if you can just repeat it, that is, there was some, the video was stopping, so it wasn't clear. When Nanaji said that only 5 minutes more I will take. So
there was one shloka
part. Mundaka Upanishad he was telling, but I think he said 2 verses, but they weren't clear what we got the message. Like
there was
the video
was very beautiful. Yeah, from what I remember, I'm not sure when this happened, before or after that part. Where is the bow is your Omkara, and then the arrow is the Jiva, and then the goal is Brahma. So using the power of the Omkara, meditating on the Omkara, you use the arrow, that is your Jiva, and reach Brahma. I felt that was so beautiful. In fact, even I was then imagining the shape of the Om is like the 3, and then it's got that what is it called, from the belly of the Om, that thing comes out. So I was actually imagining that as when you pull it, it becomes like a bow. And so using that, I think the Mandukya is all about the Omkara, isn't it? Or Mundaka. Mandukya
No,
Upanishad.
Mandukya is about Om, but
Om.
Mundaka, he was mentioning Mundaka Upanishad in the end.
You did
Last.
mention, but
Yeah.
I honestly now don't remember what that was.
Okay. Okay, I'll just listen it again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
So we'll wind up here today. Om Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tat Sat Shri Krishnarpanamastu. Jai Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev. Ramanaji, you need to end the meeting, dear. Hari Om, Ramanaji, you need to end the meeting.
Maybe you can do, Vilaji.